Hey guys, welcome back to Phys Ed Universe. I'm Coach Polly. Today is the third and final installment of our three-part track and field series. If you haven't watched the first two parts, go ahead and do that now or when this video ends. Today we're going to be focusing on sprinting as well as distance racing. Before we do that, go ahead and like this video, subscribe to the channel, and share it. Now, let's take a look. Okay. So the first thing that I'm going to teach the kids is how to run a sprint race. I first explain that a sprint race is just a short, very fast race. I then tell them about the importance of getting off to a good start. And the way that we do that is I teach them how to take off. When I teach them how to take off, the first thing I tell them is to put one knee on the ground, one foot touching the wall. This just makes sure that everybody starts in the same spot. They take both of their hands, put one on either side of their foot. I say two words. I say set, which tells them to pick their knee up off the ground, and I say go, which obviously tells them to go. Now what you're going to see is that kids like to explode up instead of forward. I tell them, hey, we're not running to the ceiling, we're running to the finish line. So the way that we work on exploding forward is we do that same takeoff, but I tell them, hey, you've got one step to get as far forward as you can. So, hands on the ground, I'll say set, I'll say go, they leap forward, and then they stop. They see where their foot is, and then we'll do it a couple more times and see if they can get further than they did the first time. Again, all this does is get them to explode forward instead of up. Next, I'll have them run a sprint race. They'll run from my wall towards the finish line about 20 meters away. I'll have my phone set up at the finish line, and I'll pick out who gets first, second, and third. The phone just ensures that I get the right kids. After we've done that, we move on to our distance race. Okay, next I like to teach them about distance racing. Now, I first explain that a distance race is just a longer, slower race, and I tell them about the importance of pacing yourself. Pacing yourself just means picking a pace or a speed that you can keep for a long period of time. The way that we do that is we like to use the pacer test. So, if you don't know what the pacer test is, I have the kids start against the wall behind you, and then 20 meters away I set up a line of cones. There's a pre-recording for the pacer test that uses a bell to tell kids when to go. So when they hear the bell, they run from the wall to the cones. When they get there, they stay there until they hear the bell again. When they hear the bell again, they run back, and then they stay there until they hear the bell again, so on and so forth. Now the bell gradually gets closer and closer together, meaning that we're speeding up their pace as we go along. If a kid does not make it to the cones before the bell sounds, that's a one strike. Once they get two strikes, they're out. We would do that for a little bit, and then we'd go outside to our track, which is about 400 meters, and we would do our distance race. 400 meters for an elementary kid is plenty long. Again, I would look for first, second, and third place. Guys, I'm sure that there are tons of ways to teach track and field, but these last three videos are just how I do it in my classroom. I hope you've enjoyed it. Again, please go back, like these videos, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and share these videos. Until next time, play hard and make a difference.